Welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm sitting down with the artist whose journey really represents what persistence in music looks like. He's been playing guitar for over 22 years, writing songs for nearly 20, and over the last year he has made massive personal and professional leap, preparing himself for what he believes is the right moment to fully step into his career as an artist. His newest singles, Lion's Den and Gypsy Woman, are now available and streaming on all platforms. Today we're talking about the journey, the struggles, the transformation, the music, and what comes next. JKline, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So what was it like growing up in San Antonio?
It was an experience, that's for sure. I met a lot of really cool people. I learned how to play guitar here, obviously, but I'm originally from LA, and there was a lot of music. My mom was in the music industry there, and when we moved here, I wasn't really even concerned with music until I met the people here. So really, San Antonio kind of shaped who I am and who I wanted to be as a musician.
Okay, so you said you started playing the guitar here in San Antonio. At what age was that?
I was about 14 years old when I started playing guitar, and I remember I actually wanted to play bass first.
Oh, nice.
And so I begged my mom to get a bass, but then my buddy, he had a guitar, so I went over there and I started playing that guitar, and he was like, "Hey, man, you're pretty good at that." So then I asked my mom, "Can I have a guitar instead?" And the rest is history.
And then you said you came from LA. Was that around the time too, or?
Yeah, about when I was like 13, we moved here from LA.
Why'd y'all move?
But we kind of came back and forth my whole life. I moved back and forth till I was about 13, and then I've been here ever since.
Nice. Was it, your mom moving down here, new job?
Yeah, my mom, she's a crazy woman when it comes to her career. She was a dental hygienist, a aircraft mechanic. She wired for movie sets. She's ran construction crews and all that. And so she found a new job here. I can't remember exactly which one of those it was, but we came here, and I've been here ever since.
Do you think that in a way that kind of inspired you to go into the music world?
Oh, she definitely inspired me. She wasn't a musician herself when she was younger, and my father was also a musician. My aunt was a musician, and her being such a strong person, and because my dad was never there and all that, she was such a strong person that she definitely inspires me to be who I am, and she's always had my back on it too.
That's amazing. I love that. She sounds like a beautiful, blessed woman to have you as well.
Yes, she's an amazing person.
So you mentioned that she played music as well. So that's just been your whole life, was music?
Pretty much, yeah. She has a little album that she was going to release a while back, but she ended up just producing it, and and I've listened to it. It's actually pretty good. I might steal one of her songs, but music's been a huge part of my life since I can remember. I really don't know anything else at this point.
So what did music give you then? Like, as far as when you were in those hard places in your life, like, what was it that music brought for you?
I mean, I guess the cliche answer that would be that music's always a release of, your emotion and all that. But really, music's more of, kind of a guiding light for me. Like, it's the one thing that always stays constant, that I know that when I'm looking at my music and when I'm looking at music, it's always there for me. Whereas not everything in my life has always been there for me, whether that be friends or family or jobs or anything else, but music has always been there.
That's good. So you feel like do you feel like you struggled a lot, but music was...
I definitely have. I think we've all had our struggles. I've dealt with depression and all that kind of stuff, and music was the one thing that, I would come back to, and it would keep me stronger and make me want to keep going on the next day, I guess.
That's good. Did you ever have, like, self-doubt?
Of course. I think self-doubt comes with the territory. I think when you're an artist of any type, sometimes you wonder if your art is worth anything, but you just keep going, and eventually someone hopefully notices.
And when do you feel like you were ready to not just record in the studio, like at your house, but like when do you feel like you were ready to really push it and push for your career?
I think I've been ready for the last few years, and I just didn't really know exactly what to do with it. And And then my manager, Chris Rhodes, he has helped tremendously to get me into the position that I want to be in now. And we are pushing forward with all this, and it kind of feels like it's happening so fast, and but it's actually taken 20 years. So
Okay, so what sacrifices did you have to go through in order to get here?
I mean, I've lost jobs, I've lost girlfriends, friends, everything, because my music is the most important thing to me. No matter what, it will always be music first and then everything else second. And that's hard for some people to understand. That's hard for an employer to understand. It's hard, for a girlfriend or a friend. And it's one of those things where if you can't understand that, then it's going to be hard.
Some people might say that's selfish, but that's not how you see it, right?
I guess in a way it is selfish, but I guess for me it's just I'm driven. That's all I want, and I really want to be a great musician, and I'm not going to let anything stand in my way to do that.
I think that was well said. So I want to go into a little bit diving about your songs you have coming up. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, what was the inspiration? I know for me, one of my favorites was I Love Gypsy Woman.
Funny enough, Gypsy Woman has changed a lot over the years. It originally was a punk song called Antichrist, and then over the years it's evolved until it's unrecognizable from that original song. But basically those songs, I draw a lot from past inspiration, or times in my life that became struggles, or just attitudes that we all try to get through and feel. And so Lion's Den is a representation of not giving in to what everybody wants you to do, and Gypsy Woman's about loneliness and wanting that connection with people. So it's a little bit of both sides of that coin. Sometimes you don't want the people's help, but sometimes you need that attention, or you need that love to come back to you.
Do you think there was other artists who inspired you along your way for creating your music?
Definitely. Obviously, one of my biggest would be Shannon Hoon from Blind Melon. He was an amazing songwriter and artist in general, and their music they're probably one of my favorite bands, if not my favorite band. And a lot of the other guys too, the Kurt Cobains and all them. But really, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a ska singer. I wanted to be a ska player and singer, and so punk and ska was a big influence too, and all of it kind of together really became this, I guess.
Who you are. So whenever you started, you felt like, okay, this is what I wanted to do. This is my love. This is my passion. And then where in your life, like, where were you at? Where were you working as far as when you kind of just woke up one day and you said, hey, this is Jay. I'm going to be an artist.
I would have to say it was when I was working at Sherlock's Pub, which was I was a door guy there, and they offered me a position where I became the open mic host. And so I started doing these open mic hosting things, which meant I had to, basically fill the time when nobody else was coming up to sing. And I started to realize that, oh, well, I can play my originals, and I could mix them in with the covers, and people wouldn't even notice that they were originals. And sometimes they would even say they liked the song. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I do have something here that isn't just, me playing music with my friends on the weekends or whatever. And then I started playing cover shows professionally, and then I realized I don't want to play covers. I want to play original music. So that's why we're here now, doing the original thing.
I love that. When did you start actually performing for people?
I've been performing since, I was about 20 years old. Manny and I, we were in a band. My guitar player, Manny Manos, we were in a band called Rum, and we played a couple shows, and that was kind of really the start of us building this whole dream of playing music. We had some music. We finally played some shows. We thought we were going to be the next Led Zeppelin or something, but that band ended up falling apart eventually. But it really gave us kind of the seeds that were planted there grew into what we are now.
Nice. So you many have been together since day one, basically.
Yeah, I've known Manny since high school, and yeah, we needed a rhythm guitar player for Rum, and we tried him out one day. He played Rondo alla Turca by Mozart on the piano for us, and that was it. We were like, this is our guy. We need this guy, and we've been jamming ever since.
And who would you say, like, as far as other inspirations? I know we talked a little bit about bands and stuff like that, but just inspirations in general. Like, is there actors? Is there even not even famous people, just people in your life that you?
There's so many. I'd say Jack Lemmon was a big inspiration. Park Chan-wook, he's a Korean director right now. Amazing director, and the things that he does in cinema, no one else is doing. And I love movies. I love stuff like that, and I think that all those arts kind of go hand in hand. Movies, you can't have a great movie without great sound and music, and so all of that inspires me a lot. And those people, like I said, Park Chan-wook, Jack Lemmon. I mean, Marilyn Monroe, even, you know, she was iconic in her time and was such an amazing person. And yeah, there's just so many over the years. I too many to name, really.
Which transition was harder, do you think? Was it a physical or more like of a mental transition for you?
I'd say the physical transition was harder. Over this last year, we've done a lot of work on me getting back in shape and trying to work on my image and, you know, everything like that. And that was probably a lot harder because the mental, like I said, was kind of always there. I always wanted to do this, and I knew I wanted to do it. But getting into the point where we were, you know, ready to put me on a camera was probably the hardest part.
How do you feel in front of the camera now?
I feel pretty good.
Good. It just feels natural.
Feels pretty natural, yeah.
Good. Well, what version of yourself do you feel like, if any, you had to leave behind to be who you are now?
The gamer, Jay. I'm a big video gamer. I love games so much. And
what's your favorite?
My favorite game probably ever would be Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, back in the day for the Super Nintendo. But I play Apex Legends, and you know, I've played the God of Wars, and I've played all the games, you know, but I haven't recently because I just haven't had the time. So I kind of had to leave that 12-hour gaming sesh Jay behind, and now I can have a couple hours with the buddies every now and then, but I can't do that all the time anymore.
How does your friends feel about that?
Some of them are upset. There's a couple guys that I play games with exclusively. I don't really, you know them in real life, and, you know, we don't play games anymore because I don't have time. But
yeah.
The ones that are around me in real life, they seem to understand what's going on.
What's something that you want your listeners to feel when they listen to your music?
I want them to feel like it means something, that they're not just listening to music that's going to be just there to make some money or the flavor of the week. I want to make music that means something to them. 5 years from now, when they hear the song again, it reminds them of the same feeling they felt when they first heard it, where it meant something to them.
Do you feel like people who you have kind of released the song to, what was their critique? Do they feel connected? Do they also feel inspired?
We've had a really great reception to the songs that we released on Spotify, and it's been tremendous to see, people really seem to be getting that exact feeling of being inspired and just, you know, enjoying the music, and it does mean something to them, which really means a lot to me.
So you said you're feeling ready now in a way that you didn't before. What does that moment feel like as far as comparison to, I know we talked a little bit about it, but let's dive a little bit deeper. So when you were first starting your music career and where you are now, like, what's the biggest difference? Like, can you go a little bit deeper into that?
Probably my evolution of songwriting. When I first started playing, I just wanted to be a guitar player. I just wanted to be the next Jimi Hendrix or Jimmy Page or one of those big guys that, you know, everybody talks about on, you know, all the guitar magazines or whatever. And then we played in like that band Rum, and then that broke up, and I met a friend of mine, John Martin. He actually showed me how to write a song. He showed me a song that he had written with just 3 chords, and I was blown away because I knew how to do all the technical stuff, but I couldn't write a song with 3 chords and make it mean anything. And so that helped me understand that. And after that, I started writing more and more. And the songwriting, I think, has become more of my strongest suit now, whereas guitar playing was obviously what I was focused on before. I now think that it's just more of the whole package of the song that I'm writing instead of just one thing.
Do you feel like you find your inspiration for music when you're going through something, or are you able to kind of look back and see what other people are going through and maybe share their story?
I think a little bit of both. And then sometimes, you have a song come to you in the shower and, you write it in 20 minutes or whatever, but it's not, I think it's, a little bit of drawing from my own experience, but sometimes I do draw from the emotions that I feel from other people or a story that I've been told or even a movie. I have a song called Halloween that we haven't released yet that's literally about the movie Halloween. So, sometimes I just write it about whatever, I want at the time, but I definitely draw from past inspiration as well as other people.
What would be your favorite song so far that you've written and recorded?
Written and recorded, I would have to say Lion's Den, but if we were going to go with just written, I have a song called The Way that is not released yet, that really means a lot to me, and I feel like the lyrics really capture a moment in my life where I had a lot of self-loathing, and I can go back to that song and I can remember that and remember not to be like that. But it's kind of a sad song, but it's my favorite that I've written.
Do you think that we can maybe talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So just so people that are listening, when they listen to that song, can you go a little bit more into detail as far as how it pulls you out of that moment? Like, what are some of the main, maybe not the courses, we can leave that for when they hear it, but.
There's a line in the song called, that says, I stand in line to buy a cigarette, the smell of pride and the taste of death. And it's kind of one of those things where, as a smoker or, anybody that has a vice that they have to go and get every day, you know that it's there and you're standing in line to buy it and you don't want it. You know you don't need it, but your pride won't let you go away from it. And, it's lines like that kind of make me go, hey, that point in your life when you were so, against yourself and you were self-defeating and all that, you don't have to be that. You can find a better way to do it.
So what's something you think you would tell if you had a fan come up to you right now and they shared their experience and said how that helps them? How would that make you feel?
Amazing, because like I said, the only thing I want to make people have with my music is I want them to feel something and feel like it means something to them. So for anybody to come up to me and tell me that a song that I wrote means something to them, it means the world to me.
Is that why you think maybe you're really pushing for it? Because your experience you want to share for those who might also experience something?
Yeah, partially, of course. I do think I have something to say that can help some people in some ways, and maybe I don't, maybe I do, but at the least I got to say it and see if it can.
So I have a couple of things where you finish the sentence for me, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I make music because...
I love it.
Simple. That was actually the only question, but you know what? Let's have fun with this one. You play guitar because...
It's fun. I don't. That one's a tough one. I play guitar because it's an instrument that can express so much with so little.
You wear those shoes because
they're flashy, baby.
Yeah. Hence why you're so flashy.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, I love that. What is it that you do when you're not writing music or playing music?
I watch a lot of movies. I'm really into all styles of film, foreign films, domestic films, all that. I have a massive movie collection that I continue to add to for no reason. But yeah, I love cinema, and I try to seek out new films whenever I can.
Jay, thank you for sharing your story and your journey with us today. Make sure to check out his latest singles, Lion's Den and Gypsy Woman, available now on all streaming platforms. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the episodes. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me.